Hi, I'm Dr. Nixon, and welcome to Healing Peak Regenerative Medicine's Longevity Channel. And today I want to go into a little bit more of a deep dive into maybe why you're not healing. I did a video last week that talked about just a couple basic things you can start doing at home to help the healing process in your body. If you're recovering from an injury or have chronic pain, that video covers some really basic information. And today I kind of want to go more into a deep dive of that. And so what I said in the last video is really to control blood sugar levels. And I want to go a step further and talk about, the nutrition that your body needs when you're going through the healing process. And every time you put something inflammatory into your body, it's using the same cofactors and macro and micronutrients to process those toxins out of your body as you're using to try to heal an injury. So if you're doing something inflammatory to your body, like spiking blood glucose levels, eating a ton of sugar, drinking a bunch of alcohol, not getting enough sleep, if you're doing some type of inflammatory thing to your body, then that inflammatory process, the detoxification process for that inflammation, uses the same macronutrients and building blocks and micronutrients, things like vitamins and amino acids, to get rid of that toxin when it could be needing that information or those vitamins to actually heal the injury. And so if it doesn't have enough to do both, which one's gonna suffer? And usually it's going to be the injury, because your body has to get rid of those toxins. We're primed for that. And so the more you can do to decrease systemic inflammation or inflammatory load on your body from the environment while you're healing, the better it is. And a few ways to do that is just to avoid those things that you know are not good for you during that healing process especially, and then also to add more things in, like leafy greens, for example, are super, super amazing for liver detoxification. Things like kale or spinach or broccoli, all those brassicas, Brussels sprouts. You can do lots of things. You can cook them, you can eat them raw, you can put them in soups, you put them in smoothies. There's a million ways to get those into your body, especially if you're not someone who loves them, right? And so, one of my favorite ways is cover them in bacon, right? I mean, I typically really love veggies, but if there's one I don't like, bacon fixes it, right? Who doesn't love bacon? Anyway, I digress. So the point being that you want to eat a lot of foods really high in micronutrients like minerals and vitamins. Macronutrients are proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. And fiber, although that sort of gets coupled with carbohydrates, it's kind of a free carbohydrate. You don't really absorb it, doesn't have any calories. It actually helps balance your blood sugars. So that's why we're like, eat more fiber, because that actually helps balance blood sugars as you eat carbohydrates. And so the more fiber it has in ratio with carbohydrate, the more steady blood sugar balance you're going to have as you eat that food. Protein and fat, in contrast, or in coupled with carbohydrates and fiber, does the same thing. So you get a really nice smooth bell curve of glucose and blood sugar raising. So that's really what your body knows how to do best and doesn't cause these inflammatory spikes in the insulin. And that will allow your body to heal a lot faster and a lot better. And then including things like those extra veggies, really, eat the rainbow. Eat purple things, eat blue things, eat green things, eat red things, eat orange, yellow, all of it. Eat it all, as long as it's the closest to the form in which it came from the earth. So like, if it looks like exactly how it looked on the plant, that thing is not processed, it's good to go. Go ahead and eat it. The more processed things are, the more that breakdown has happened for your body, and it kind of takes away from the parts that your body has to do on its own that's healthy for it. Kind of why like the whole raw foods diet is really trendy, because of that process, right? Your body knows and recognizes things directly from the earth, but once they're processed, it's sort of a crapshoot if it recognizes it or not, and it's part of why we have so many chronic diseases going on. And so none of that stuff helps your body to heal itself. And so that's one main deep dive I want to talk about nutrition-wise. When you're healing your body, you need tons of minerals, you need tons of amino acids, you need a lot of protein. So protein is really a huge building block for cells. Every cell, it has a phospholipid bilayer, meaning it has an encasement that the cell is held in, muscle cells, tendons, ligaments, bones, all of them. They all have this phospholipid bilayer, which means it's part protein and part fat. Where do you think those cells come from? Your food. right? And so if you're not eating enough protein and you're not eating enough healthy fats or carbohydrates, you can't make more cells well. And then the cell messaging, as in like cellular replication and cellular messaging between cells because they communicate, that gets really haywire, especially if there's systemic inflammation going on. And that's where either more injuries happen or scar tissue forms in an area that should be healing correctly but then doesn't, and then is weak for re-injury later. And so you really want to make sure, like what I was just saying is that when you're healing, you want to give your body the best opportunity the first time to heal correctly. And then if it doesn't, we can always go back and initiate that healing process again with some of the injections that I do in my clinic. But if you've injured yourself, this is a great video for you. If you're trying to heal from a chronic injury, then, this is still a great video for you, but you may need some more and higher interventions to really get after it and fix it. And then the other thing I did not mention in my last video about a deep dive to healing is sleep. Sleep is massive for healing. It also is like a fasting time for your body, and so the insulin levels get real low, and you're essentially fasting at nighttime. And so if you wake up or you have sleep apnea or you're often waking up at night, you're spiking those cortisol levels. That's telling your body you're awake. There's some insulin release that happens with that, and blood sugar levels stay higher than they should during nighttime. And then it doesn't give your body the rest and relaxation that you need in order to heal. There's, I have gone back and forth about what therapeutic guideline, what foundation of health do I think is the absolute most important. And I was like, forever, I was like, it's diet. And then I was like, no, it's exercise. No, it's diet and exercise together. They're equally important. And you guys, it's sleep. It's sleep and water, truly. So if you're, obviously you have to eat, but like if you're not sleeping, it really doesn't matter what you put in there. It does. Don't eat McDonald's. But if you're not sleeping, your healing times are going to drastically diminish, as well as your blood sugar levels are going to go all over the place. And so if you're going to focus on one thing to help yourself heal, it's sleep. The room needs to be completely dark. You can get a Fitbit or like a sleep monitor. They're pretty accurate. That will tell you whether or not you're getting deep sleep or not. If you snore, get a sleep study. Make sure that you don't have sleep apnea. Typically, food allergies and food sensitivities cause sleep apnea. So eliminate food allergies and food sensitivities. It might cure your sleep apnea forever, and you won't even need a sleep app machine anymore. Obviously, consult your doctor about all these things. If I'm not your doctor, please don't just do all these things, without consulting your doctor first, or take supplements without consulting your doctor first. They could get in trouble with your medication. So just, that's my disclaimer. But anyway, so deep dive to healing, monitor your blood sugar levels, make sure you're eating an anti-inflammatory diet, make sure you're getting enough protein, fats, healthy carbohydrates, and you're doing them all together in the right ratio so that your blood sugar looks really nice, and make sure that you're getting a lot of foods that are high in micronutrients. So that's eating the rainbow, fruits, veggies, all of that. Eat closer to earth as you can, so make sure it looks really similar to how it came out of the earth when you eat it, and that your body is pretty much doing the processing when it digests it, And then sleep. Room totally dark. Don't watch TV or look at your phone 2 hours before bed unless you have the yellow glasses to filter the blue light, or a smart TV that does it, or phone that already does that. Make sure that your melatonin levels are good and high. Make sure you're getting a lot of deep, restful sleep. Have a sleep hygiene process where you wind down, and you're getting that 7 to 8 hours solid good night's sleep. And if you're not, and you can't figure out how to do that with some of the things that you've tried at home, it's time to consult a naturopathic doctor. I do see patients out of the state, so if you're not in the state, that's fine. Our phone number is 206-899-6000. And if you're in the state, we'd love to see you. And if you're having any injuries that, chronic injuries that aren't healing, and that you've tried everything, or you feel like you've tried everything, we would love to be a great resource for you. And you can just either subscribe to this channel. We do videos like this all the time, or you can call my office. Thanks so much. Have a great day, you guys.